In this video, we're going to look at how we can create an array from a JSON file. Now, what is JSON? It's an acronym that stands for JavaScript Object Notation. So important to take note that it is a notation, right? It's a way to write things. Basically, it allows us to interchange data, right? The data interchange format. It converts data structures to strings and strings to data structures. All right, so if we have a JSON file, now it doesn't necessarily have to have the extension JSON, it can have a text extension as well. The key is that the contents of the file are written in this notation, this JavaScript object notation. And the notation gives us an indication, well, it's a notation that's used to preserve the structure, right? Oh, it's an array. Oh, there's an object in that array. That object has key value pairs. Oh, then here's another object, right? So it's a very specific notation that's used. And the computer, JavaScript, knows how to convert this, because this is just a file. This is just a string, right? It's one big string. It converts this string into an actual data structure. Okay? And actually, maybe I should show that as a string. Okay, well, I just loaded this this example into my little sandbox here. So here's points.json. Now, the format's a little different, but I think Prettier just changed it for me. It should work either way, I believe. But yeah, it's an array with objects in it, right? These point objects in it. If I go to main.js, it's very similar to what we did before with the text file. We fetch. The big difference is when we did the text file, we converted it to text. And then that text data we split. So let's actually, first let's make sure this works. So this JSON says, hey, when I fetch the contents of this file, I expect it to be in JSON format. There's a built-in JavaScript JSON function that basically converts that JSON into a data structure, puts it into this data, and we're like, thanks. Points is now, this global variable points is now going to be assigned whatever that JSON string got converted into. And if we run this, yeah, I already ran it and I typed in points here, and you can see, great, we've got an array. Index 0, 1, 2. Each array is an object with an XY and a label, etc. Okay, so that's kind of cool too. We can take complex data inside of a file and very easily use some built-in stuff from JavaScript that can convert it for us. Just to show you the contrast, if I use text here, it'll take this file and just convert all of this into regular old text. So let's try that. And now if I go points, you'll see, oh dear, you'll see that there's lots of stuff in here. So there's the bracket, that /r/n is like the new line, and then this, and then a new line, and X, and there's some spaces, and anyway, so it's one big string like this. So, I don't know if I can do points.json. No, okay, so I think that .json is really specific to what gets returned here. But there is a JSON.parse, and if I take points and I parse it, so this is basically what the points.json method, the one that we had here before, is doing. It's parsing the string, right? Because points is just a string. It's parsing that string into an actual data structure. Okay, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, so just make sure when you have that JSON file, we do that JSON method on this response, and this JSON method on this response exists, and it allows us to do that parsing where it converts the string content of the file into the data structure, which goes into here, which we then assign to our global variable. Okay, so yeah, JSON helps with more complicated data structures. When we just had one line to read at a time, like in the colors here, that was pretty easy to just split. But if you get more complex data structures, this JSON stuff is awesome. Helps a lot. Okay, hope that made sense. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.